Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back, and welcome to the top 16 beers of 2016. I was looking at this list kind of the last couple days. First of all, Happy New Year to all of you guys watching. This is, I guess, the first official video upload of the new year. I think a beer review went up, or it might have been on New Year's Day, but this is the first video that I'm recording in 2017. So Happy New Year to all of you who are watching. I was going through all the videos trying to figure out a top 16 list, and it really blew my mind how awesome this year, or this past year, was for beer. I mean, not just beer, but this YouTube channel for me. I met so many awesome people this year, and I have to thank all of you guys who watch the videos, everyone who has subbed to the channel, everyone who comments, everyone who likes the videos, everyone who shares them. Without you guys, I mean, I wouldn't be doing beer reviews. And I mean, I know everyone on YouTube always says, oh, I really, really appreciate it. Like, truly, I mean it when I say that. I really, really appreciate all you guys who watch and comment and interact with me. It makes it really, really fun. Beer is fun, and beer will always be fun for me. Beer will never be serious for me. And I kind of feel like, I don't know, not that I have my own style of beer reviews, but I kind of feel like I'm much different than a lot of the beer reviewers. I'm never going to be a cicerone. People have told me my vocabulary is not great when it comes to describing beers, smelling beers, tasting beers. I've always just been a dude who likes to sit and hang out with buddies and drink beers and chit chat and shoot the shit. And I've always just kind of approached beer reviews that way. So it seems like people enjoy them. You know, people like them. I get positive feedback. I get negative feedback too, but it is what it is. You're not gonna, not everybody's gonna like, you know, your style of how you speak or what you look like or your audio or your video or any of that stuff. So I just really thank you guys, everyone who watches the channel. I was looking, I mean, we almost doubled in size as far as subscribers. I know, I mean, it's still small potatoes in the whole YouTube universe. I mean, there's beer reviewers that have hundreds of thousands of more subscribers and way more reviews, and you know, we've only been doing this a couple years, and I get that, and that's fine. This has never been something to where like you're never going to get famous doing beer reviews, and if anyone thinks if that's their goal, I don't know how that would be possible. It's just, I don't know. It's something that I started at. I've told the story a bunch of times. It's something that was fun. I always watched the old beer reviewers. I would check out reviews to see if I wanted to trade for hyped beers, and I started doing reviews myself. And I mean, I've met a ton of cool people. So, yeah, I mean, we almost doubled our subscribers. I think in 2016 we reviewed 206 beers, which is kind of crazy because it took me almost 2 years to do my first 200 reviews. And then just this year alone, we doubled that. We did 206, I think. So that was kind of fun. Kind of branched out towards the end of the year. We did Stout Miss, which was really, really fun. I drank a ton of huge beers, stouts, porters. Kind of like got away from hoppy beers. I mean, hoppy beers are still the #1 beer that I review on this channel. I'll always be a hoppy beer fan. But moving into 2017, I really want to drink more, you know, different styles of beer. I think January is going to kind of be a sour month, so spoiler alert. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. How YouTube was to me this year, and it's because of you guys. So I know I've said it a bunch of times already, and as I say in my reviews, I'm repeating myself, but thank you so much for making 2016 freaking awesome for me. We sold almost 100 tulip glasses, which was crazy. I didn't think the first time in the beginning of the year when I ordered like the first set of them, I was like, nobody's gonna buy these, but I'm just gonna have them just in case. I'll give them to friends and family, and sold all those. And then the second batch that we just got, I don't know, like a month or so ago, or I have like 3 of them left now. So it's mind-blowing, the generosity of people, everyone who has reached out for trades. I mean, there's been people who have contacted me just saying, hey, I don't want anything, I just want you to, you know, have this beer, see if you like it. And they send, like, it's mind-blowing just how awesome YouTube is, and all of you guys are. So I know last year I think last year's video was like 48 minutes. I'm really gonna try and be quicker than that this year. But I kind of, the way I did it last year, I wanted to repeat it this year. I kind of liked how it came out. Not that I was proud of it. My editing skills are horrible, but wanted to like have clips for each one of my beers for the top 16 list. And the way I did it was I had to had reviewed it on my channel, and it had to be this year, obviously. Actually, it doesn't. Okay, sorry. Spoiler alert. It didn't have to be on my channel. I just had to be in the video of the beer review. You'll see. I mean, there's a couple of these that weren't on my channel, but I encourage you guys, if you are new to the channel, all of these that are going to be on this list, go back and watch them if you want to learn more about our thoughts, my thoughts on the beers. Just because I just have like little, minute and a half clips of this, and they're not all of them they have anything. Some of them don't have anything to do with the beer that we drank, but it was fun. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's get on with the top 16 beers of 2016. All right, so coming in at number 16, a brewery that I fell in love with this year, and a lot of it was due and thanks to my man Michael out in Chicago. From Microphone Brewing, Special Sauce Batch 5. It was a Nelson hopped, I think it was a double IPA. By the way, I don't have all the bottles still from, I know last year I had like the bottles with me, and I like put them next to me when I was talking about the beer that I had. Part of like 2016 for me was like getting organized out here, and I still keep some of the cans that I am fans of, just for kind of background purposes, but a lot of the bottles I do not have. So I decided we're not going to do bottles this year. I'll just talk about them, but Special Sauce Batch 5, it was a double IPA brewed with Nelson hops from Microphone in Chicago. A lot of people would probably be like, why is that beer on this list? For me, I think honestly now it's probably the best Nelson hopped IPA I've had. And Nelson, if you guys have followed my channel for a while, Nelson is one of my absolute favorite hops. So when we had this beer, it was kind of like a mind-blowing thing. I didn't really have expectations of it. I had other special sauce beers that were good, but nothing that was really like, holy crap, that's amazing. And this beer was fantastic. So big thanks to Michael for sending this one. And let's see what we thought of Special Sauce Batch 5. Microphone beers I've had. Just from the smell of this, I think I'm going to love this. So Michael, thank you so much, sir. Cheers. Wow, that is so white wine-esque. That is super vinous. Wow, holy crap. It's like white grape juice and white wine. This is amazing. Holy crap. Taste follows the nose. It's like if you were to mix like Welch's white grape juice, I know that might not be a good descriptor, and like white wine together, or like champagne. It's almost like champagne. And drink it, that's what it's like. It is so vinous and so grapey and so grape skin. It's like taking, if you were to take grapes and like, if you don't wash grapes ahead of time, like if you buy organic grapes and don't wash them, there's like this earthy kind of dusty thing on them. It tastes exactly like that. This is like such a crazy showcase of Nelson hops. This is insane. All right, so there you go. Special Sauce Batch 5. That was one of our inside in the kitchen reviews. It gets crazy hot in San Diego during the summertime, and this garage is not insulated. I have a lot of goals for 2017 out here. I need to get my garage door insulated, one. I need to get flooring put down. I need to figure out the lighting out here, and I need to figure out audio. It's really, the acoustics out here are terrible, so I try and make my audio as good as I can. But I think once I do a lot of the things that I want to do out here, it'll look and sound better. So that was a kitchen review. So moving on to number 15, another kitchen review. This was actually a really, really fun weekend. This past summer, my wife went out of town. She took a trip to Italy with her mom for, I think, 12 days. And I was home with the kids. And like months before, when I found out she was going on a trip, I texted Nathan. I said, hey, just totally joking around, not even serious. I was like, hey, my wife's leaving. She's going to be gone for 2 weeks. Do you want to come to San Diego and drink some beers? And literally, like the next day, he's like, here's my flight information. I'll be there. I was like, wow. So we joked around about having bail share because Nathan is bae. One of my best friends in the entire world, which is weird because we met through beer on Twitter. It's strange, a couple years ago, but he's actually in a couple of these in the top 16. But yeah, from my favorite sour brewery side project I think they're in St. Louis, Saison or Saison, I think it's Saison. Saison du Fermier, it's called. I think it's Fermier. Like I said, I don't even know how to pronounce some of these beers. probably the best saison I've ever had. And I was lucky enough that he brought it out to share it with us, or share it with me. Actually, with us. My brother-in-law Lane was here too. So, yeah, he actually popped my side project cherry last year, and in the 2015 top 15, Apricot Dew Fermier was on that list. So, side project can do no wrong as far as sour beers go. They are my favorite sour brewery. So, we had fun this weekend, and I think there's some other reviews from this weekend that are in this. Looking at this list, I think there's a couple others, but when we get together, we have a good time. We drink beers and we laugh, and we try not to take ourselves seriously. So let's see what we thought about number 15, saison or saison. I don't know. Du Fermier from Side Project.
Like horse blanket, like
Yeah.
horse blanket kind of thing.
Damp earth.
Damp earth.
Should we cut this?
No. Hey guys, this is not the first review we've done today.
What?
Smells like dried spinach.
What? Don't. Seriously. Oh my gosh.
Well, that was fun.
Sorry.
No, it smells tart, really tart.
It's funky though.
It's got funk, but it smells like it's gonna be sour. I don't pick up on a ton of the
Whatever. What did you say it was?
like the Pinot barrels. Like
No, they weren't barrels. What were they called?
puncheons.
Puncheons.
Yeah.
No idea what the fuck that means. Yeah, it's not like crazy like woody, or you're not getting like crazy vanilla or anything like from a barrel, like a
No.
wood barrel.
No, but it smells
Punchin?
punchy.
That's a real word.
It's right here.
Really?
Yeah,
I brew them.
puncheons for 8 months.
I don't know what that means. Punchin.
It's just a larger barrel.
Well, how's that different from a fooder? What is it?
Fooder's huge. Have you ever seen a fooder?
Well,
They're
I think
enormous.
when I went to Trillium, remember like when I like looked up, there was like those huge barrels, and someone said those are fooders.
Fooders are enormous. Like you could fit like 2 of them in your living room.
Oh, really? Maybe they weren't
They're
fooders.
enormous.
Someone said they were fooders.
Probably puncheons.
Huh. Interesting.
But
Yeah, we're absolutely not serious when we review beers. So that beer was awesome. So moving along to number 14, another brewery that I had beers for the first time from this year, from Cellarmaker up in San Francisco. Coffee and Cigarettes, an Imperial Smoked Porter. It was actually Imperial Coffee and Cigarettes. The beer blew my mind. It was freaking amazing. It was during Stoutmas. Came from my buddy Scott. Thank you so much for sending that one. It was straight. I don't know what the clip is going to say, but I remember it being like a coffee milkshake. It was so chocolate and coffee forward. That beer was freaking insane. There could have been other Cellarmaker beers on this list. I had Mount Nelson, which was a pale ale that was fantastic from them. We had Are You Afraid of the Dank? That was when Nathan was here. That beer was fantastic. Everything I've had from them is amazing. So if you guys are in NorCal and if you haven't had Cellarmaker beer, definitely seek them out. They brew both New England style and West Coast style IPA still, so you can kind of have best of both worlds. But yeah, Imperial Coffee and Cigarettes was absolutely freaking amazing. So I thought it was worthy of number 14. So let's go ahead and see what we thought of it. If you're a coffee fan, I guarantee you have beer boner smelling this beer. It does. All you Midwest guys, you guys that have drank Coffee Bender, that beer literally, I remember when I reviewed that, it was one of my early beer reviews, and I remember smelling that going, there's no way this is beer, it's coffee. That's what this smells like. With like chocolate, roasted malts. I'm searching for like the smokiness. I'm not smelling any kind of like smoked malts. It's straight ice mocha in a glass, so let's go and check this one out. Scott, thank you, sir. Cheers. Dude, holy shit, that is so good. That is, if you, Eric, hi Eric and John. So, being a California person, travel a lot. I've been to Starbucks a lot. My wife drinks a lot of Starbucks coffee. There is a Frappuccino called Java Chip Frappuccino. It is a coffee, basically a coffee milkshake with chocolate chips in it. That is that. This is so good. Holy fuck. Yeah, so there you go. Shout out to Starbucks. Eric. That's not good coffee, but that's what's in California. So there you go. Moving along, number 13. This was this was a fun review. This was towards the end of our bale share when Nathan was here, and we had reviewed a couple beers that night. But number 13 from Alpine in Alpine, California. It was great. Their barrel-aged barley wine, a beer that I had wanted to try forever, and we were lucky enough that my brother-in-law Lane brought it to the share, and that beer did not disappoint. Probably my second favorite barrel-aged barley wine I've ever had, and the beer blew my mind. And I do know what this clip is. It's us kind of joking around with John. Hi, John. And it's funny when Nathan and I review beers. For whatever reason, I think it's because I'm like, as a former obese person who loves food, still to this day, I love food. Every time I smell and taste beer, like I always go back to like things I either grew up eating for whatever reason, or like in this one, I talked about college. Like there's certain flavors and aromas that remind me of food all the time, and Nathan makes fun of me for it. And it happened in this review. So, yeah, great was fantastic. 100% worthy of being number 13. So let's go ahead and check out this clip.
Alcohol legs.
This was aged, what did we say, 18 months?
18 months.
Is that a lot? Like we joked around.
It's a really long time. And that's why, like, just looking at it in the glass, it looks thinnish. But it's just because it's a barley wine and freaking 18 months in
Can
barrels.
you tell me how this compares to Lunker? Is that, like, can you do that for me?
I mean, Lunker's average at best.
It's okay, right? It's an okay.
Fuck you, John.
Dude, if John was here this weekend, this would have been fucking amazing.
This would be great.
You would have drank
It's
all the
smoky-ish,
cake.
I'll give you that. To me, it's like almost like slightly burnt caramel and iced tea.
Dude. So
Where are we going?
I'm
with this?
going there because
Let's
I
do
don't
it.
give a fuck at this
Hold
point.
on 1 second. We're going to talk about food and life stories.
No, it's food right now. So in college, there was the little tins of beef jerky. This smells like that smoky beef jerky. I cannot believe that I'm smelling that, but it reminds me of that. So fuck, I don't care.
I think Lane just gave you the what the fuck are you talking
Lane,
about?
I'm just telling you, this is like a smoky.
It's so sweet.
I'm telling you, dude, it smells
It's super sweet though. Super sweet, dark fruits. Beef jerky. I don't know what the heck.
It's not. I'm not saying it's beef jerky, but there was you could buy these tins of beef jerky that had brown sugar in it, and that's
Okay.
what it reminds me of.
So I would be like,
Just because it was beef jerky doesn't make it a bad thing. So, yeah, moving along. First hoppy beer in the list. This was a beer that I think I had it it was early on in the year, February, March-ish, I think. Came from Jeff in New England, Vermont. From Hill Farmstead, Double Galaxy. This was a beer that I never thought I was going to be able to try. And Galaxy hops are my favorite hop when it comes to IPA. So when this beer showed up, I was absolutely fucking mind blown, and I was so stoked to be able to review it. And it did not disappoint. It was absolutely amazing. Still my favorite Hill Farmstead beer. I mean, green is my favorite IPA as far as like Galaxy hops goes. I think there's other hops in green though. I don't think it's 100% Galaxy hop. I think there's other stuff in there. But Double Galaxy, if green is not 100% Galaxy hop, Double Galaxy might be not my favorite, but might be the best Galaxy hop beer I've ever had. Still, it was an absolute fucking banger. So it probably could have been higher on this list, but it's coming in at number 12. So let's go ahead and see what we thought about it. Yeah, I'm stoked on all these beers I get to try. I hope everyone realizes, I was thinking about that driving home today, thinking that I was going to drink this beer. I hope everyone realizes how fucking amazing we are right now, with craft beer and where we're at. It's insane, the beer that's being produced all over the country. For me, beer has never been better. It's we're at this revolution of hoppy beers and these crazy barrel-aged stouts, and people are doing all kinds of insane things, and it's an amazing time to be a beer drinker, in my opinion. So hopefully you guys agree with that. But that seriously tastes like fresh squeezed orange juice. There's so much orange and citrus in that. Wow. And an awesome that herbaceous nose, that basil note, it's like dank. It's not crazy dank, but it's like dank and resinous right in the middle of my tongue. This beer is fucking awesome. Wow. You could tell that review was on my old camera. So that was another thing that happened this year. I bought a new camera, and I got lights put on. I got lights put on out here. I bought lights for out here. So in an effort to try and make, like, I go back and watch my early reviews. They're fucking horrible as far as like lighting. Half of them were in the dark because my ceiling is painted black out here in the garage, and there was no lights except for this little like strip light that's out here. I mean, it's a garage. There's not lighting out here. So some of those, like, I looked like I was in a dungeon, and they were all blurry, and half the like video games looked blurry, and it was pretty crazy. But yeah, thanks to Jeff for Double Galaxy. That beer was absolutely fantastic. So number 11, the brewery that became one of my favorite breweries this year. I'm so glad that I got to start drinking their beers. From Monkish in Torrance, California. Any one of the Monkish beers that I've reviewed a bunch of them. I'm super, super fortunate that my man Eddie has hooked up a lot of these Monkish beers. I got some from, the early ones came from my buddy Michael, but Eddie's been just my Monkish angel, just able to send cans of Monkish for me to review, which is fucking insane. Those beers are so hard to get right now, and it's a bummer. Once Monkish starts brewing like bigger batches of beer, it'll kind of get easier, but like they just did another release a couple days ago, and it was 170 cases of beer, I think. So like when you're looking at the bigger breweries like Treehouse, Trillium, those guys are releasing 550, 600, 700 cases of beer at a time. Monkish is only doing like 160, 170. So it's tough to get your hands on those beers. And I feel awful because so many times people message me and they're like, hey, I want to do a trade. I want to get Monkish. And I'm like, I can't even get Monkish. And when I do, I get 1 can at a time, 2 cans if I'm lucky. So super, super tough. But number 11 was Foggier Window. The beer was absolutely amazing. Foggy Window is the beer they just released. I tried getting that, but I didn't. I think there's been 3 Monkish can releases that I haven't been able to review, and that's Foggy Window's one of them. I tried getting some, it just didn't work out. But Foggier Window was the double dry hop version of that. So again, I could have picked any number of Monkish beers to be on this list. I think this one's amazing. Foggier Window is a fucking banger. And I had fun doing Monkish. There was a while, because Monkish is in LA, they're like a Dodger liking brewery, and a lot of people who watch the reviews are Dodger fans, and me, growing up in Northern California, I'm a Giants fan, so had a lot of fun reviewing Monkish beers. I would, there was a while there, I was wearing Giants hats in every single one of my Monkish videos, so I think this one was no different. So let's go ahead and see what we thought about the number 11 beer of 2016, Foggier Window. Fuck, this beer smells like Madison Bumgarner throwing in the World Series. I love you, Dodger fans. Every review I've done so far, everyone talks about the hat that I wear. You don't have to be upset. I mean, 1988 was a long time ago. I can get you a hat like this. A champion hat. Someone that's won something. I do. I love you guys. I am not bitter. The Giants win. They've won 3 out of the last 6 World Series, so there's no bitterness. Much like the nose on this beer. It doesn't smell bitter at all. It is. It's fucking fruit juice in a glass. It smells amazing. And it's a good thing you can't see underneath this table. So, Eddie, cheers, sir. Thank you. Well, fuck. It says 8%. Okay. Well then, what's the best way to describe this? I don't know what the best way to describe it is. It's so fun, like, going back and watching these reviews. Like, I realize how much fun I have reviewing beer. So, yeah, Foggier Window. Amazing stuff. Smells like Madison Bumgarner winning World Series. So into the top 10. Another stout for number 10. And this came courtesy of my man Nathan Ryerson. This review was actually on his channel. Another kind of, like, we traveled a bunch this year and did reviews a bunch of different places. And this was when we were in Reno for March Madness. Every March, me and a bunch of buddies go up to Reno to watch the first weekend of college basketball, bet on every basketball game, and hang out and drink beers. And I invited Nathan this year, and of course he came because he was just like, fuck it, I'm going to go where I'm going to go. He comes to San Diego, goes to fucking Reno. We went to New Hampshire, Idaho, all kinds of places. It was pretty insane. But from Side Project, I had mentioned my favorite sour brewery. Apparently Corey King also murders the stout game because Derivation number 4 was absolutely fantastic. And it's kind of funny looking at this list. Like, this probably should be in the top 3 because it's one of the best stouts I've ever had. But I guess, I mean, this list is just like my favorite. It doesn't have to go in order. It's just my favorite 16 beers of the year. So Derivation number 4, Imperial Stout Barrel Aged with Vanilla. Absolutely fucking amazing. I love that beer so hard. But yeah, we were at the Pepper Mill in Reno in the Toucan Suite, I think we were calling it, because there was a toucan behind us. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what we thought of Derivation number 4. There's a vanilla something that I've had that see, that's my problem, is I always go back to like stuff I've eaten before.
Yeah, to me it's like vanilla with like a Werther's Original.
Yeah,
like,
it is. Yeah, it is like caramel. Not. Yeah, it is kind of caramely
like
toffee-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's a sweetness on that though.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's real sweet.
Yeah, it's almost like a chocolate rain sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the vanilla is awesome. And again, there's dark fruits in there.
Mm-hmm. No alcohol.
No, which is crazy. The 15%, like, that's scary.
Yeah.
Drinkable.
It's got great mouthfeel.
It does.
It's like medium to full. I mean, full. It's not like tar thick.
Right.
It's like
the
SR
Toppling,
was.
yeah.
But it's close to what Assassin was. Assassin was a little thinner than SR, I thought. This is huge vanilla, though.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like chocolate in there too. Maybe that's just the sweetness that I'm tasting that's reminding me of chocolate.
No, I get like some like almost like dark chocolate or like baker's chocolate, kind of. It's not like milk chocolate to me.
Right. That like darker chocolate. Sort of like dark chocolate covered something.
Yeah.
Like raisins, or like you said, figs. Man. Just
a vanilla bomb.
It is vanilla for days.
Yeah.
I totally forgot we covered our one bet in the middle of that review. That was fun. So yeah, go back and watch that one. Good times. So moving along to number 9. Again, this is a beer that I can't believe this is number 9. I can't believe there's 8 other beers ahead of this. And again, it's not ahead of it, but from Treehouse Brewing, Munson, Massachusetts, my first love when it comes to New England hoppy beers. I actually got to visit Treehouse this year, which was one of the greatest brewery trips of my entire life. There is a video on my channel. I'll forget to put it in the description, but if you go back to my videos, I do a thing called road sodas, and a couple people were like, what does road sodas mean? So when we were in college, I hate people who drink and drive. So anytime we would road trip, the person who was driving was not allowed to drink, but the rest of us would buy beer and sit in either the back of whoever's truck, van, whatever we were driving, and we would buy beers and we would call them road sodas. So whenever I go out on the road, so to speak, and visit a brewery, that's where that name came from. So if you look it up, there's a Treehouse visit, and me and my wife and I and my kids were there. It was literally the greatest brewery trip of my life. But number 9 is King Julius, and probably top 3 Treehouse beers for me of all time. The beer is ridiculous. When we were there, it was the 5th year anniversary of Julius, and we went on a Wednesday, and that Friday they released Julius, and I was lucky enough to get some of that. Excuse me. And then I think it was the following week or 2 weeks after they released King Julius, and thankfully my man Leo was able to head over to Treehouse and grab a can of that and send it so I could review it. Absolutely mind-boggling beer. So Yeah, number 9. Let's go ahead and see what we thought about King Jija Julius. By the way, I got Brian, I think. Was it Brian? I think it was Brian. Had mentioned that I was saying Jija Julius wrong. I don't know if that's right or not. Someone had mentioned it on a Facebook. I had actually asked the pronunciation of it before I did the video. So if saying the 2 J's first is wrong, I don't really want to be right because I like saying Jija Julius because of Jija G Unit. This video, like your brain runs out of like descriptors of what you can smell. Like you've only smelled things in your life like that are so intense and so concentrated, and this is one of those things. So I don't really know exactly how to explain it. Just think of having the most overripe, perfect tropical fruit, like a basket of a bunch of different stuff. Oranges, mangoes, peaches, pineapples, tangerines, and just throwing them all in a blender and blending it up. And that's what this is. I'm going to keep repeating myself. It's time to to drink this. So Leo, thank you so much, sir. Happy anniversary, Treehouse. And thanks for the fucking amazing beer. Oh, it's so good. So good. It's dumb. That's just fuck off. All right, we are chugging right along. Another porter coming in next, number 8, from another. I'd had a couple of these beers. First year of reviewing beers from Funky Buddha. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm having to clear my throat, but so much talking. Yeah, from Funky Buddha in Florida. Number 8 was Morningwood, probably my favorite maple beer of the year. It was my favorite maple beer of the year. One of my favorite maple beers ever. And it's a porter. It was, so Funky Buddha does a porter called Maple Bacon Coffee Porter, and then they have an imperial version of that called Wide Awake It's Morning, and then Wide Awake It's Morning put in bourbon barrels is then Morningwood. So straight breakfast in a glass. It's buttered pancakes with maple syrup and coffee and bourbon. It's absolutely a mind-blowing beer, a 13% porter. It drinks like a stout. It reminded me a lot of Morning Delight Batch 2 from last year, which was, I think, number 2 in my top 15 of 2015 videos. But Morningwood, if you guys have not had it, it's still around. It's not too late. Get your hands on it. If you like maple beers, it is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, let's go ahead and see what we thought of Morningwood. That's what she said. So the nose is Hunnits. Let's go ahead and taste it. Cheers. Fuck. Yeah, so now I know why it is sticky maple on my tongue. Now I know why Eric and Barry were kind of let down with Michigan Maple Jesus. I don't know what it tasted like 2 months after I drank mine. It tasted nothing like this. Holy shit. It just feels like maple is like on my teeth and stuck to my tongue. A shit ton of maple. It smelled a little boozy. It doesn't taste boozy at all. It's maple syrup. It's milk chocolate. And then there's like this killer like coffee bitterness that just kind of sits on the middle of your tongue. And then finishes sweet, like syrupy sweet maple syrup. Michigan Maple Jesus was much sweeter, like in a sweet kind of almost cloying sweetness. Now that I'm drinking this, actually as I'm talking, there's bourbon now that's coming through. But it's like maple bourbon. It's crazy. This is fucking insane. God, that beer was so. I need to get some more of that beer somehow, some way. So, where are we at? Number 7, another beer from Monkish. It was actually a collaboration with Monkish and Other Half, JFK to LAX. Again, got to thank my man Eddie for sending that one. It's far and away the best triple IPA I've ever had, and it's not close. I talked about it, I think, last year. I think there was a couple triple IPAs in my top 15 last year, but JFK to LAX absolutely smashes any other triple IPA I've ever had. It's better than Triple Sunshine. It's better than Pliny the Younger. It's better than, I talk about exponential hoppiness. I think Peril from Lawson's was on my list last year. That beer is amazing. JFK to LA. I've never had a triple IPA that's a juice bomb like that. It was 10.2%, and it drank like a 7% beer. It was crazy. So yeah, again, this could have been higher up on the list, but it's going to sit at number 7. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to say about it besides it's the best triple IPA I've ever had. So definitely worthy to be in the top 10. So let's see what we thought about JFK to LAX. RIP Guru. That might be the Citra that's doing that too. This almost, if you were to give me this blind, I would say, like, I would guess Galaxy because it's so tropical fruity, but that's got to be the Motueka. This is fucking insane. My mouth is salivating. It doesn't smell malty at all, which is crazy. It's 10%. Like, how do you get the alcohol to be 10% and not have it smell sweet or, you know, like that bready kind of crackery thing? It's juice in a glass. It's crazy. So, like I said, I'm salivating. I think I know what this is going to be. Eddie, thank you, sir. Cheers. So there is just the slightest bit of sweetness on that, and you have to expect that because it's 10%, but it's like sweet overripe fruit juice. That cannot be a 10% beer. No fucking way. If someone gave this to you blind, you'd get fucking hammered drinking these. There's no way that's 10%. That is insane. So there you go. JFK to LAX was fucking hunnits. So where are we at? Number 6. A beer that I wanted to try for a long time. Finally got a bottle of it and was able to review it. It is from Goose Island. I'm not a big Goose Island supporter. I know the whole AB InBev thing, but I always try and get my hands on Bourbon County. So number 6 for this year was Bourbon County brand Coffee Stout, the coffee variant of Bourbon County. It lived up to the hype and then some. Just straight chocolate bomb coffee. It was pretty crazy the way that beer drank. A lot of times with Bourbon County, you get like that big bourbon bite. I don't know if I say that in this. I can't remember what clip I'm going to upload, but it was freaking just amazing. The easiest drinking. I think it's near 13%. Like, I solo domed that. My wife doesn't really like stouts. I drank that whole thing, like, and I was like, I want more of this. It was pretty intense, but this could have been higher up on the list too, I'm sure, but I think settling it at number 6 is cool. And the best part about this, there was a local guy, a buddy of mine at work. He was like, hey, I know a guy who wants to try some hops. Do you have any New England hops? He's got a bottle of Bourbon County coffee to trade. He just wants 3 or 4 cans of hops. So I had some like Treehouse and Trillium beers. So I didn't get trade raped, which was amazing. It was basically dollar for dollar, which it might have like affected my thoughts on this beer. I might have just been like super beer boner the whole time, but I don't know. Anyways, number 6, Bourbon County Coffee Stout. Let's go ahead and see what we thought about it. Fuck, this smells like brownies with coffee on it. Like if you were to take a chocolate brownie and dip it in a cup of coffee and take a bite, that's what that smells like. Bourbon County is really fudgy. That is straight fucking, this bottle at this temperature is straight fucking brownie batter with coffee. This is awesome. Sometimes with coffee beers you'll get like that kind of weird pepper thing. That's not. It's just an awesome, just medium roast. Just a little bit, like just a touch fruity coffee with a fuck ton of fudge. There is no bourbon on this at all. And I don't know if it's because we've been drinking like kind of poppy IPAs that my palate's a little off, but this doesn't taste hot at all. Part of the thing that I like about Bourbon County is like you get that awesome kind of bourbon bite on the back end of that when it finishes. This doesn't have it. This drinks like a regular, just imperial stout. This is fucking insane. I love this. The mouth feels medium. It drinks perfect. It just kind of coats your tongue. There is like a little bit of that kind of slick, kind of oily thing. All right, we are into the top 5. This was actually the very first beer review of 2016, and I think that's pretty telling that 200 plus beer reviews of the year, this beer stood out to where it's in the top 5 of my 16 favorite beers of 2016. And again, from Treehouse Brewing, Munson, Massachusetts. It is the one and only juice machine. The beer is insane. I think when they first released it, it was like, what was the thing? It was like a combination of King Julius and Very Green or something crazy like that. It's an absolute juice bomb, but it's still, gives you like that. It tells you it's a beer. They re-released it again. I think they did it last December, but when I got it, it was after the new year, so it counted as like a 2016 review. They just released it again like 3 or 4 months ago towards the end of this year, and I was able to get a couple cans of it again. I actually sent a can. It pisses me off. I sent a can that was really fresh to Peter, and then the whole international trade thing, my box got lost for 6 weeks, so he didn't get to drink it fresh, which really broke my heart because this beer is, again, one of the best hoppy beers, period, that I've ever had. The label art is fire. I actually bought one of the lapel pins, the juice machine pins from Dean Keever. But yeah, I mean, I think this is actually, oh no, there's 2 hoppy beers in the top 5, so I think this is worthy of being in the top 5. So let's go ahead and see what we thought about. I think this was on my old camera, so it might look a little weird. But let's see what we thought about Juice Machine. It's like the malts in it are just kind of there for all the hops and fruit and juice to just be like, we're gonna lay on you. You're just there just because you have to be there. It's part of brewing beer. So since you have to make an appearance, you're gonna be there, but you're not gonna be anywhere found in a nose or a taste of a beer. It's insane. It's just it's explosively juicy. It's oranges, it's peaches, it's tangerines, it's, like I said, it's herbaceous. There's basil. That's right, Nathan, there's fucking basil. You smelled it. I knew you would one day. It's dumb. As per usual with Treehouse. That's my favorite descriptor that I use for them. Dumb. Stupid, insane. That is so good, and it's so bitter. Saying it's so bitter, it's not overly bitter, but there is an awesome just bitterness sitting on the sides of my tongue right now. And it's like biting into an orange peel or a grapefruit peel. It's like that pithy white part of an orange or a grapefruit just sitting on the side of my tongue. And I love that. But it's juice. It's oranges and mangoes and peaches and papaya. That herbaceous thing is there middle of the mouth, but it's so like 8.2%. There is no way you would know this is an 8%. So yeah, there you go. Juice Machine was fantastic. So into the top 4. Number 4 was actually beer review number 300 on my channel, and I was lucky enough to be able to share it with Nathan and my brother-in-law Lane. It was during that same weekend that Nathan was out here for Bale Share 2016. Another Goose Island beer, 2 in the top 6, but what can you do? Bourbon County Rare from 2016. That beer, I think Nathan had described it as bourbon with beer characteristics. That is a spot-on description. One of the most complex beers I've ever had. And Goose Island actually just released more rare. I want to say it was like right before Christmas, and my man Brian actually got me another bottle of that, so I will be able to drink that again. I never thought I was going to drink rare again, just because it trades kind of high, and I really, really like that beer. But I'm not into having to give up a fuck ton of beer for one bottle of beer. It's tough. So I didn't think I was going to be able to drink it again, but thankfully I have another bottle of that coming. So, but yeah, this was beer review number 300. It was at the very end of that share that we did. I think there was like 18 beer reviews that came out of that weekend, and we reviewed them all that day, and we finished all of the beers. So I actually forgot to plug my microphone into my camera, so we were using the external mic from the camera, which is absolutely horrible. So unfortunately, beer review 300 will live in infamy with awful audio, but it was Bourbon County Rare. It was amazing, and I got to share it with some really awesome people. So let's go ahead and see what we thought of Bourbon County Rare. This smells amazing. This smells so good. So let's go and taste it. See what it tastes like after a year. You go and have me a year. So.
Happy 300. Bro.
Cheers to 300 beer reviews, and thanks to all you guys for watching. Like right when it hits your tongue, big beer.
Again, every time I talk about this beer, it is
good.
bourbon with beer characteristics.
That is huge. Just, it follows the nose. It's a huge, huge flavor.
Boozy.
Bourbon. Like it's kind of like that the barley wine that we drink, like
Yeah.
burnt sugar, caramel, toffee, chocolate. Like you said, tobacco-y kind of leather things.
Yeah, but let's not hide it. This is a hot fucking.
And it's warm.
This is a bourbon forward.
Yes.
Beer.
Yeah. But I will say, like, out of the other big beers that we've had, it's not crazy chewy
No,
full.
this is a thin.
It's a thinnish beer, which is the only kind of setback. But
Yeah.
when you're talking flavor-wise, this beer is fucking
It's
delicious. It's a huge beer. Like, that's what you want when you open a big imperial stout, a big bourbon-aged imperial stout. There's a lot going on in this beer. So yeah, there you go, Bourbon County Rare. I'm so bummed that the audio in that is so bad, but it is what it is. What can you do? I could not upload it. It was my 300th beer review. So, top 3 time. Coming in at number 3, one of the beers that most recently was reviewed, again from Treehouse. Treehouse kind of dominated this list. 1, 2, 3 beers from Treehouse were on here. I think only 2 other breweries had 2, so there you go. Treehouse is the winner of 2016. Doppelganger. That beer absolutely blew my mind. So, best hoppy beer of the year for me, I think. I'm just going to go out and say it. So, it was better than Juice Machine. It was better than King Julius. It's basically, I think, when we were trying to go through the pedigree of that beer, I think Doppelganger is basically Mosaic dry hopped King Julius. So if King Julius was number 9, this is plenty worthy of being number 3. I absolutely love that beer. I got to thank my man Leo again, my Treehouse angel. He has been for the last couple years. He was able to get a can of that, sent it out for review, and I absolutely fell in love with it the minute that I smelled it. So yeah, number 3. Let's go ahead and see what we thought about Doppelganger, which is double dry hopped Doppelganger, I think. Is that right? I think so. So let's go ahead and let's see what we thought. Fuck me. That is just, it's like putting your nose in a glass of orange juice, like extremely pungent orange juice. Fuck. Like, if you gave this to me blind, I'd be like, this reminds me of Julius. This smells like a crazy intense Julius. It is fucking oranges for days. That is, like, it's not that I wasn't expecting it. We had Curiosity 28, I don't know, like a week or so ago, but I haven't been drinking Treehouse beers a lot lately. So it's not like that, I don't know, it's not that I've forgotten about how they smell and taste, but I wasn't expecting to be absolutely assaulted in my nostrils by that. Let's go ahead and check it out. My mouth is watering. Leo, thank you, sir. Cheers. That's insane. Fuck off. It is like biting an orange rind. It's so fucking orangey. Wow. But the awesome thing is, it's so hoppy that it doesn't just turn into like this stupid juice bomb. I appreciate juice bombs. You guys know, if you've watched my reviews, I'm kind of getting... Monkish is like my favorite beer right now because it's such an awesome balance between New England style and West Coast. You get the juicy aspects of their beer, but it reminds you it's a West Coast beer. It's dank, it's bitter. This has that, and I think it's just because it's so fucking hoppy. Legitimately, on the middle of my tongue right now, it's like chewing on orange peel, grapefruit peel, like lemon zest. Like if you ever have iced tea and you take the lemon out and kind of eat the lemon and like bite on the rind. It's so pithy on the middle of my tongue. I fucking love that really hard. It's pretty crazy thinking about Doppelganger right now. I just got my buddy Ben commented saying that they had that beer to share and they had been drinking prior to, and like he thinks that their palates were kind of ruined because Doppelganger wasn't very good to them, and there had to have been something wrong that night because that beer was absolutely insane. So we are at the top 2, and these are 2 beers. Neither one of these reviews are on my channel. They were on Nathan's channel. Last weekend of February of this year, he was in Vegas, and he had said, hey, I'm going to be in Vegas if you want to come out. I'm like a 3.5, almost 4 hour drive from Vegas. So I was like, yes, we will do that. My wife and I packed up the car and left the kids at home and went to Vegas. And Nathan was like, hey, it's your birthday weekend, so we are going to drink some whales. And that is what we did. So number 2 from Toppling Goliath, it was Assassin, the 2014 vintage, I think. The yellow wax bottle, I think is what it was. Just a fucking ridiculous, fudgy, chocolatey whiskey bomb of a beer. That beer, I mean, it was one of the few stouts that I've had that really like blew my mind. And I was like, whoa. Again, I didn't think I'd ever have a chance to have Assassin. And it absolutely lived up to the hype. That beer just, even nowadays, it trades for so huge. I'm so fortunate, so thankful that Nathan decided to share that beer with me. So it was in Vegas. We were, Treasure Island, I think, was our backdrop, which was fun. So yeah, the review is on his channel if you want to see the entire review. But let's go ahead and see. I mean, we'll just check out a short little couple-minute clip and see what we thought about Assassin.
Straight up whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, it is awesome.
It is. It's badass.
It smells great.
Well, we're almost 7 minutes in. We should probably
Yeah,
drink
we
it.
should.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Wow. That is huge. Oh, and real quick, I do need to, because you do watch the videos. Wow, the aftertaste on this is incredible.
Gosh.
Huge thank you to Fred. If you watch this, buddy,
Fred?
thank you very much
love
for
you.
making this possible, buddy.
Fred, you should be in Vegas right now. There's like an Elvis guy who would probably marry us.
Yeah.
There is a shit ton of chocolate on the aftertaste
Jesus.
of that. That's crazy.
It's like baker's chocolate, milk chocolate,
But
like dark chocolate.
with like somebody just took a bottle of bourbon or whiskey and just like, pfft.
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Like you get like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to describe this, but it's like you drink it and you get the immediate barrel, you get the chocolate, but then it continues and gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like the after, like almost where it should be the aftertaste, it really hits.
Right.
With huge chocolate.
There's vanilla in there too,
There's
though.
vanilla, a little coffee. I'm getting like some roast.
Yeah, it's like a roast, and I think that might be like that charred kind of roasty thing is what I was smelling on the nose.
Yeah.
But like even talking, it tastes like my breath is whiskey.
Yeah. God,
That is so
big.
good, and the mouthfeel is just—it's like velvet.
Yeah.
It's not. I remember Morning Delight being like crazy viscous and chewy.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like we're like chewing on this as much,
No.
but like it's a really full mouthfeel.
Very full. There was no carbonation on it, but it goes right across your tongue like there is.
It's like it just like glides across your palate. But there's also like I think we talked about with Bourbon County, it almost tastes like it's hoppy, but it's not. It's like that kind of bitter. I think it's like bitter chocolate that you're tasting. It almost like has that like hop kind of a thing that like sits on your tongue.
No, I agree.
This is insane. This is so good.
Man, I can still taste that beer. Assassin was absolutely amazing, and it's crazy that it's number 2 on this list. And if you watched that review way back when, you know what number 1 is. From Toppling Goliath, actually reviewed right after Assassin that same night, SR71. SR71 might be the best beer I've ever had, period. Any style. It was absolutely just fucking crazy. I still can't believe I drank SR71. And again, thanks to Nathan for sharing it. SR71 is basically they take Assassin and then barrel age it again. I don't know if it's in different barrels. You guys will be able to tell me. And there might be hashtag sources. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but someone had said some of the barrels might have vanilla in them for the SR thing. I don't know if that's true or not, but again, one of those beers that just it trades for so massive. It was kind of a pipe dream beer for me, so super stoked that I got to drink it. And like I said, when you have a beer that you think might be the best beer you've ever had, period, how could it not be number 1 on your list of top beers of the year? So without further ado, number 1 from Toppling Goliath, SR71. So let's go ahead and see what we thought of it.
The Blackbird?
SR71 Blackbird. Yeah.
That's a sexy
Like,
bottle.
look at that. Look at that label.
No, it is.
Like,
Like
you can see it. It's got the Blackbird.
if you were like a fan of Mike Tyson in the 80s, remember when he wore like the black trunks with the black boots? Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Like that. I think they knew what they were doing with this bottle.
It's badass.
It's insane. I think this is what is this? The third? No, wait. It's a second review of this beer?
On the tubes.
On the YouTube. It might be the third. There is a review of this that you guys will never see, unfortunately.
Which is really too bad.
Mr. Ryerson and I have seen that.
We
review,
have seen it. It
and
does exist.
It's amazing.
Like the
But
Watergate tapes.
Unfortunately, you guys will never see that. But
yeah, couldn't share it with a better guy. So
cheers. Thank you,
Cheers.
sir. Appreciate it.
wow,
That's like morning delight mouthfeel.
it is.
It's thick.
It's thick. It's definitely thicker than the Assassin was.
Yeah, it's viscous.
It's staying on my tongue like crazy.
It's on my teeth. That is. You know what's crazy is like that's a couple ABV points higher than Assassin, and it's even easier drinking than Assassin.
Yeah.
was. That's dumb.
Well, I feel like there's less like up front with Assassin, you got hit with that kind of that whiskey sweetness, whereas this, I think you're getting more of the notes from the barrel. You're
Right.
getting
You're getting
the chocolate. You're getting the vanilla.
Right.
All that, and then it kind of finishes with this bourbon like smoothness.
It's not hot.
No.
At all. Like, that's a 14% beer that you could just dome.
Yeah.
It's Dome Town. This is. Like, it's gone. Like the. This is dumb. I can't. I don't know. Like, Assassin kind of sat on your tongue, and I don't know if it's because we just had that, but this, like, it finishes, and you're like, that was amazing, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I could take another sip of it.
Well, like we talked about in the Assassin video, go watch it if you haven't. It like the chocolate notes of that beer kind of just stayed. Like I felt like I had a piece of chocolate in my mouth that kind of stayed with that whiskey sweetness. Whereas, like you said, this one doesn't really finish dry. Like my mouth's watering, wanting more. Like it wants more. And I don't know if that's because it finishes dry and my body's like, you need more of that immediately.
Right.
But it finishes completely different. And I think it's just that extra time in barrels. It's just kind of really brought the beer kind of like brought a balance and more flavor to it.
It's funny that you said marshmallow because, like, since you said that and my brain is thinking about it, it tastes like roasted marshmallows.
Like if you roasted one, got nice and like a good
Like,
toast on the outside
yes.
of it. Yeah, that's what I got on
The
the
marshmallow is there. Like, it's dumb how, and I know people hate the word smooth. It's dumb how smooth this beer is. It's so easy drinking.
So I was, I had a few to drink before that SR video, so you could kind of see that. We made a joke about if you go back and watch the review, if you played a drinking game and you took a drink of something, every time I said this is dumb, you'd be drunk in like the first 6 minutes. I think it's like a 30-minute video. So, yeah, that's it. That is the top 16 beers of 2016 for what I thought. Again, might not be your guys' list, but they were my 16 favorite beers of the year. So I really, really appreciate you guys sticking through this video. I know it's a longer video, but it's a pain in the ass for me editing just because I'm not good at editing videos. It's a pain for me to do, but I hope you guys enjoy them. It's kind of fun to look back on the clips of the reviews and kind of see like what we thought of them. Again, I encourage you guys, if you're new to the channel and you haven't watched the reviews of these top 16, go back and watch them. I don't know if you'll get anything out of it or not, but at least you could see, you can kind of put into context the clips that I had pulled and uploaded for them. So yeah, cheers to all of you for being a part of this channel. Cheers to 2017. Honestly, looking at this list, I don't know how 2017 can get better. I really don't care if it doesn't get better. The whole goal is just to continue to, reviewing beers and having fun and interacting with all you guys and meeting new people at beer events and all that good stuff. So, yeah, I know I said it a bunch in the beginning, but seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for hanging out at the channel, for, being subscribers, for sharing these videos, for everything that you guys do for the channel. So it means the world to me. So, yeah, that's it. I'm out of here, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I've got a couple beer reviews that I need to upload, I think. Actually, beer review 400 is, I think, 2 videos from now. So I haven't filmed that yet. That'll happen. So there's one more from 2016 that'll get uploaded. I have like 3 or 4 that I need to upload. So those will kind of come in January. But yeah, beer review 400 is right around the corner. So I'm wondering if we might even be able to get to 600 by the end of 2017. Who knows? But yeah. Oh, and if you guys want to leave your top 16, top 10, whatever list, leave them in the comments below. It'd be fun to see what you guys drank this year. It's like as far as your favorite. So, yeah, I am done rambling now. Cheers to 2017. I hope it's awesome to all of us. So, I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Cheers.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.